This is Berglum on the German-Danish border. These officers are carrying out checks as part of a federal crackdown on irregular migration, meaning anyone entering Germany across any land border can now be asked to prove their identity, as here in Kane, just across the River Rhine from Strasbourg in France.
Our controls are very flexible and situation dependent, which means we aren't setting up the classic border post, and we don't check every vehicle or every person. Instead, our checks target vehicles in which we suspect illegal migration.
Although controls have been underway at some parts of the frontier with Poland for many months, some people living there have welcomed the new nationwide measures.
I actually think it's very good, because we're here in the border areas suffer particularly from crime, and it can't be right that everyone comes in as they can and want to, and nothing is done about it. At some point you have to think about your own population.
These checks are at odds with the principle of the EU's borderless Schengen Zone, but ministers say their scheme does not break it. For weeks their attention has been focused on immigration. Recent elections in the old East Germany saw populist parties that oppose mass migration collectively win more than 40% of the vote. One analyst explained what he thinks the new government plan is trying to achieve.
Various different audiences. So at least there is some hope that, the rumor mill among irregular migrants works, and that this will kind of tell them Germany isn't as welcoming anymore. Maybe of course you can still probably come in if you really set your mind to it, but we're not just receiving you as we did in the last previous years.
But how to carry out controls on a land border that runs more than 3,800 kilometres and takes in 9 neighbouring countries, some of whom don't want the controls? The realities of such a long frontier is that there are large stretches of it, like this, unpoliced. And at this border crossing point from Poland into Germany, there are no controls, meaning if I can cross here, anyone can. And if that's true, then it's hard to see how ministers can have a clear idea how many people are coming in, or indeed who they are. Dominic, Kane, Jazeera, in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Jazeera.